This is going to scare here with another Exos Heroes video, and in today's video we're going to be evaluating the kit of FC JINAI, see if she's worth pulling for, how good her kit is, and then what you should do with your Zest. So with that, let's get into it. I figured out to start this video entering the codes, and then what you can actually expect to get from them. These are like coupon codes that they put out for the new event. So here, let's go through them. First one is Energy, okay, and then another one is going to be, I believe it's Wilkes. Another one is Monica. Okay, so now that those are in, let's actually go back to the game. We should have some stuff in our mailbox. Here we go. We got 1,000 Zests. We got 200,000 gold. We got 30 of these polished things, and some passes. That's dope. They also gave solar trade rep passes as well, plus even more gold, I believe. Maybe that's just an add-up version of it, but still really good, just free stuff. Now, main reason why I want to make this video is evaluating JINAI and why, or should you pull her, should you not? Here's a banner, pretty much, spoiler alert, absolutely. I think she's totally worth it. So we have a couple things that this is a really good value banner because we have a couple things that hedge our bets here. Because she is a general character, so even if like I was saying in the Rachel video, like my last video I made, even if the character is really not that good, like there's still a lot of good benefits from pulling on a general banner. But that one had a little bit more value, even if the character was bad, because it was a blue fake core and a general that you could take advantage of the signature force feature in the game. But this character is actually pretty good. So here, let's read her passive. So they made a new thing, mana absorb 4. So the typical's up there. But then here, let's actually go to the announcements because I can't read that scrolling text. So we got mana absorb 4, removes all buffs from target and gains mana 1 mana. If health of target is 80% or more, and then removes 1 mana if the health of the target is 30% or less. Okay, and then so buff attack speed. This is the new change with her fake core. Attack increases attack speed of all allies of the same row by self by 20 for 7 turns. Can be removed. Increases 2 attack speed per buff removed. Then debuff decreases attack of all targets by 40% for 7 turns. Can't be removed. Decreases by an extra 2% per buff removed. And then flow of mana. Back row allies, that's typical. Then they re-added back charm, which is afflicts enemies with lower attack than self with the charm mark and decreases their attack speed by 30. This is a reason why I said that is because in the original patch notes this was not there. And then next is going to be the superstar passive, which is afflicts the attention mark for 7 turns to the target when the skill hits, increases all damage over time on the target with attention by 100%. And fan meeting afflicts the anti-fan mark to the target when attacked. Triggers a double team with all living allies if the health of the target with anti-fan is or less than 30%. Triggers double team with all of it. Yeah, that's pretty sick. So she has a crazy executive, just like everyone gets in there and bodies that person. I wonder how it actually, like the order of operations against like batteries and stuff, maybe since everyone's coming in, the battery will, like let's say the first character in the team attack procs, and then Bathory's passive goes, and then the other person kills them, or if it all counts as like damage all at the same time. I'm not sure. And then deals 51% damage to all enemies. Overtime effect, poison targets, causing 31% damage every turn for 2 turns. And then her A3 here deals 178% damage to all enemies. Overtime effect, poisons target, causing 62% damage every turn for 4 turns. Okay. So moves, nothing crazy. One of them's a 1 mana move, one of them 5 mana move. Big thing for me. So I was thinking about this for a bit. When I first read this kit, I was like, oh my God, she's like Iris level because of just how impactful speed, not only is she manipulating speed off her original charm, which was still seeing play kinda, you just had to really invest in your JINAI to be able to pull it off because you need to have attack higher than most people. And then based on the type of character she is, if all things being equal, she's not going to have more attack than a lot of characters. So it's just kind of a hard sell for me because you're kind of relying on the fact to actually have the charm passive work. You're going to need to overgear the JINAI relative to other people. And that doesn't really work if you're trying to punch up against whales and stuff and you're trying to, get by. So I just don't think it's a valid strategy. I think it's kind of interesting and it kind of shook things up a little bit. You're at least seeing other characters in the meta. But it's hard to recommend that as like, oh, here, you can totally use JINAI, just over gear the character. So here, let's go back to the recruit page. Then they added increases attack speed of all allies of the same row by 20 for 7 turns, and then decreases the attack of all allies by 40%. So you're going to essentially get a free round of turns on here. I think this would be incredible, but before the whole Signature Force thing came through, not Signature Force, the Awakening, when the meta was way faster, and it was like a whole bunch of Rara, Annie, Shufraken, Iris, whereas essentially you go nuke them. Being able to guarantee you go first with having her on the team would be fantastic. I just think, I think odds are the safe bet is that she's a very good character. But I also think that based on how the meta goes, maybe she's not as impactful. I think she's very PvP specific, but maybe she's not as impactful as she looks because everything's just so, it's definitely a little slower. She also, or the meta's a little slower. She doesn't really bring much to the table. She brings dots, which is nothing too crazy herself. So she needs to be able to justify her being on the roster purely based on her passive to make sure the rest of your team goes first. And then it's going to limit you to characters that are already fast regardless, because 20 speed is not going to really change too much, because when you're fast, like how they make this game is just unfortunate when it comes to the speeds. When it comes to like, there's certain types of characters that are always going to be faster than others. And even like a 20% boost is really not going to do too much. The thing that is intriguing to me is the 40% attack reduction to really try to minimize. They seem to be adding all these kits with like a lot of minimized damage, where you got FC Tantalo just got changed. You got her coming out, being able to add the passive for 40% attack reduction. So these kind of, you just starting the match and getting one shot, even if they have better gear or, other characters that are faster, that might not necessarily be the case nowadays. So you can actually get away with these kind of slower teams that are more tanky. What I wanted to do while I was out here is I kind of wanted to like look through the PvP meta and just kind of show where it's going. As it used to be very standard. Like there was always, it was like Rara, Annie, Bathory, Shufraken, Iris, like literally everyone. But then nowadays, it's not necessarily the case. It's very similar to that. You got Iris, Shufraken, like this one's a little unique. And then also you got to kind of take these top tier comps with a grain of salt, because they, when you're willing to ball out, I mean, they're going to want to try stuff. Not necessarily always going to be true. So you see a lot of very similar things, Irish, Shufraken. You see a lot of essentially teams that are really taking advantage of Signature Force, specifically the North Front Frosty Signature Force and the Brun one here. These kind of teams, they're very packed. Like it'd be tough to remove a lot of these characters just to guarantee you're going to go first. And then it is really going to depend on, since the meta is so different, it's hard to guarantee that you're always going to be going first. With JINAI on the team, and then you're stuck with JINAI. I almost feel like you're stuck with JINAI versus actually, because it's like I'm just seeing a character that's purely there for the passive, and I'm looking at all these teams, and most of them are these matches. When you start to get Garf on here, like a stack Garf, like look how much health people have, 23k. You get Dorka here, probably 20k or 13k. Boom. You mean like all this healing from all these really tanky teams, and then even if you get that first go. And you're not going to kill these people in the first turn. So then that whole passive, then you're stuck with a bad character in JINAI with no passive, no attack speed boost, no attack down. And then I think you just get bodied. It's kind of what I'm predicting when it comes to this character. Here we go. Let's two-pull this, close it out. We got people on the Discord. Be sure to check out my Discord down in the description if you guys want to join in there. We've gotten varying amounts of luck here. What do we got? Some people got like it within 9. Some people had to pity. Pull 8 for this guy. Got her on the 15th pull. So seems to be going pretty late for most people. So all right, we're gonna two pull it up. Make it easy. I think it's pretty consistent. If you're gonna get a fake core, it kind of skips. There's like a frame or two that you miss, so it kind of gives it away. Hopefully that doesn't spoil it for people, but usually I just look for the skip. If it's too smooth on the camera, then I just know that I didn't pull one. Okay, all right. That looked too smooth to me. Maybe it's a little different. I'm for hope. I'm thinking, oh, okay, well, rip, it's over. Okay, so maybe we'll go for her. I don't know. I'm just gonna hold off just a bit, but I do think that if you're gonna go to pity on a character, this one and the Rachel one is totally fine to do it for, because they were, their generals and their blue fate core in Rachel's situation, and then she actually looks really good. She had a very unique effect that actually could potentially shake up the meta. Here's speculation. So last time we had Xion's banner ended with Rara being the gold fake core that was really impactful. Then the next one, it was Iris that was really impactful. And so maybe this one, they're going to wait until the end, the second gold fake core, to be the big deal character. But I don't like saying that kind of stuff, just because it's, I have no information. I have no idea. It's, if I'm right, is literally just a lucky guess, but just something to keep in mind, because I'm seeing the kit. I feel like if she was as good as, like, at least what I thought on paper, I thought for sure she would already be in like the top teams. Like, we only saw one person really have her on there. Maybe it is a little too early because it was just today, but I'm thinking she's probably solid, but still worth pulling on because she's a general and signature force is a thing. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for this video. Be sure to let me know down in the comments below if you agree, disagree, if you're going to be pulling on her. And with that, you guys have a good one. Peace.